know what time it is.
How it all works.
Come on.
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 Haha. We're back. All right, let me see who's in the comment section. Micah Flemings. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate you coming through. Seesaw Studios, one of our regulars. Excited to have you here, man. We are in for a good show today. We got Aaron and Kyra with us. We're gonna get into that in just a second, but I got to give you some news. That's what we're gonna start off with. But I want to make sure you guys get a chance to share. Tag a friend on Facebook. If you're watching on LinkedIn, let me know. We love our LinkedIn fam. We want to make sure the LinkedIn folks are taken care of as well. Plus, that comment integration stuff is working now. Oh, Raymond Johnson is over on LinkedIn. Thank you so much for coming through. I see you, man. That's the man with the golden voice right there. I'm trying to get him to do some voiceovers for me. We'll see how that works out. But I love it, man. I love to see those LinkedIn comments coming through. Thank you for letting us know you're here. And then make sure y'all tag somebody, bring somebody in, let them know what we're going to be talking about tonight. It's going to be good. It is going to be good. But man, there is news, as they say, there is news. So we want to get into the news right now. Oh man. When the button is gone, I'm looking at my whole stream deck like, wait, where's the news joint? All right, here we go.
Your number one source for live video news.
First up in the news, we have the latest video on the YouTube channel, Guests in the Studios. If you haven't checked that out, this is part 3. Somebody commented on that video earlier today saying, man, I'm not familiar with part 1 and 2. Well, they're right there in the playlist, so you can check out part 1 and 2. It's just a practice that I have. Anybody that comes over to the house has to, to record a video. So that's been pretty fun. So definitely excited about that. Make sure you check us out, howitallworks.com. Go to that joint and you'll be good to go. Can we join a Facebook group? Micah Fleming says, can we join a Facebook group? I don't know if you have a choice. What Facebook group are you interested in? Let me know, Micah. I'll respond to that comment. I see Raymond says he's ready. We've got several more people joining us. Love seeing that. All right, next week on the channel, we're gonna have Tanya Smith from Get Noticed with Video. Get Noticed with Video, and I'm excited about bringing her on. We were supposed to meet up anyway. I was just on her show a couple weeks ago, and we had a really good time just talking about the different strategies that you can use with video, whether live or pre-recorded. It doesn't matter, right? One of the things I always love to share with folks is even if it's live to tape, meaning you recorded it to be edited and then shown later, it's still live video. So we're not hampered in by that term. So definitely want to make sure you guys get a chance to tap in next week, Monday. Mark your calendars. Tanya Smith is going to be with us hanging out, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. First up in the news, I believe we've got some updates, man. Some updates from YouTube Premium. How many of y'all are familiar with YouTube Premium? YouTube Premium is giving subscribers higher quality video than everyone else. That's pretty cool, I think. Higher quality. I think there's actually that's not the one. Oh, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hit the wrong button. I'm telling you, so when my stream deck is messed up, it's everything goes wrong. There's actually a screenshot on the screen right now that has YouTube Premium, and you can see the different quality levels, right? So you got 480p, 360p, 1080p, not quite 4K. Gary Jones says, hello, guests. But you can see that there's a new one that's been added called 1080p Premium. Just a little bit better quality. And wanted to make sure you guys get a chance to see that. YouTube Premium is giving premium subscribers higher quality video than everyone else. Now, some people are a little concerned by that. Seesaw Studios in the comments is saying, I have YouTube Premium. And so this is good for you, not necessarily good for everybody else. YouTube Premium is actually doing a couple other things as well. YouTube Premium adding iOS SharePlay support, plus mobile queue, 1080p enhanced bitrate, all of these different things. But if you're an Android user, right, Google Meet live sharing would allow us Android users to watch YouTube together. But you couldn't do that before. But this new YouTube Premium update will now allow premium YouTube subscribers, YouTube members, to use FaceTime on iOS for sharing. So you can actually watch videos together. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's pretty cool. YouTube Premium getting some much needed upgrades. And it also kind of lets people know what are some of the functions and features that you get on both sides of the ball, right? On the iOS side and on the Android side. I always like to share with people that there is some benefits on the other side of this thing. Secondly, all right, our next item in the news, TikTok introduces series for creator content monetization. This is something that they were waiting on, and there's a number of pieces that go along with this. This is not like TikTok videos. You know, you could actually upload up to 10 minutes. A TikTok video that's up to 10 minutes long. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, TikTok videos can be longer. But these series videos, right, can be up to 20 minutes long, right? So creators can include up to 80 videos in a series. So the whole series would be 20 minutes long. So it'd be shorter videos, but you put them in a series and it kind of goes through like a playlist, kind of how you swipe through on TikTok. It would allow you to do that. And then again, ties back into their creator content monetization platform so people can make some money. So that's the whole point. And there's several ways that you want to be able to use that. This will allow creators to earn revenue from their in-depth video guides and tutorials. Ding, 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 ding. Now you see why I'm interested, because I do a lot of tutorials and I do a lot of in-depth guides. TikTok really hadn't really geared itself towards people like me. But I want to say this for even the entrepreneurs and businesses that profit from digital content, online events and webinars. You could also use TikTok as an additional platform to generate revenue from their premium content. So this is kind of a shift. So I wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that. TikTok introduces series. So the title of that feature is called series. There's a couple of other pieces that you want to be aware of there as well in terms of who is eligible and what are the requirements there. I'm told you have to have something like 1,000 to 100,000 followers on the platform. And you do have to have the same amount of video views in the last 30 days. So it's kind of a rolling calendar. So that eligibility kind of rises and falls on your activity on the platform. So a lot of things to come, but TikTok series feature is something that we all should be looking out for. Another thing I want to share with you is a platform called FanFix. Okay, FanFix is what Gen Z is using to monetize their content. So more and more Gen Z users are hopping on the content creation train in an effort to earn a living beyond a regular 9-to-5. And so there's some studies that are showing that around 45% of Gen Z creators said that they want to earn money from their content. Not surprised. I'm actually surprised it's only 45%. However, given the recent, issues around some of the major platforms like Facebook and Instagram, Reels, the bonus program has been discontinued. Several of the creators have been worried about what does that mean for being a viable option to actually make money off of this. Well, FanFix is a Patreon competitor that is focused on Gen Z creators and only allows clean content. I want to say that one more time. It only allows, come on, somebody, clean content. Yeah, Daryl Palmer says, strike while the iron's hot. Only allows clean content. So the subscription content monetization platform enables influencers to earn money directly from their followers. So this is a pretty cool platform. And you can see another screenshot of that, what that looks like there. Some of the things that people are able to do, different ways that you can engage with your audience, similar to Patreon, but just in a kind of a new way, a new flair. And they're really targeting Gen Z. Now, I'm not Gen Z, and maybe you're not Gen Z. But I'm gonna tell you right now, we need to pay attention because they're gonna be the new wave, and wherever they go in mass, generally speaking, that'll be the platform of the future. So I have my eye on FanFix. I've got my eye on there just to see. They've got over 10 million people on the platform already. So we're not talking about something that's fly by night, fledgling. You actually have to sign up and wait to be approved. So it's something that to be mindful of. But so those are some of the items that we have in the news for you this week, keeping you abreast of some of the things that are going on for content creators, some of the big ticket items, some of the strategy type items. And that kind of brings us to our topic for tonight. I'm excited about our guests who are with us and for us to be able to get into our discussion. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
How it all works. Let's welcome our guest.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. What's good, family? What's good?
What's up? What's up?
Now, this is the official welcome. We had a oops welcome earlier, but
Right.
we got to roll with these things. This is why I love live.
Right.
You can't patch that thing up. You can't take it back. You can't let me cut that part out of the video. No. This is what happens while live. But what's going on, Aaron and Kyra?
What's up, Kurt? Thank you so much for having us on the show. We're
Yes,
super excited
thank
to be
you.
here.
Man, we're excited to have you guys here. Excited to hear what you have to share, man. I know you guys have been in the lab, as they say, grinding, doing your thing, creating content. I'm looking at your YouTube channel right now. Let me say one of 3 YouTube channels, and you're growing on all of them. So clearly, we want to learn tonight, man. But I want to first start by asking that the question my audience is like laser focused on. You got to ask these 2 questions. You can ask whatever else you want, but these 2 questions must be asked. It kind of gives us a background of who you are and what you do. So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, your story, and what does a typical week look like? Well, that might be different for each of you. Yeah.
Right.
I see that smile. That means we got some good answers coming.
100% different. Aaron and Kyra, we are a married couple, been married, going on 8 years this year.
Come on for the 8 years. We could do some clapping for the 8 years. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
We are native to the South Central Conference. We met at church, in camp meeting. We were together and all that stuff. So it kind of just blossomed from there, cultivated friendship, then relationship, and now marriage. And we're growing in grace. Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So,
and man, I don't think Aaron understood the assignment, my friend. I hate to cut you, but man, I want to know who you are, brother. I want to know what the typical week looks like, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
What does a typical week look like, and who is Aaron? Like, there are people watching right now that don't know nothing about no South Central.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
You get my point, right?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but
a typical week.
So I just Go ahead.
How about I start?
You start, and then I'll go back.
So when it comes to content creation, how we got our start was we went on our first trip together as a married couple. We planned a cruise vacation. And when we planned it, Aaron was just like, we should vlog when we go on this trip.
Yeah.
And he just had the random idea. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know about that. And he was like, we should just do it. So Aaron went and he bought a camera from Best Buy. It was like a Sony A5000 lightweight camera. Yeah. And so we decided to vlog on the trip. And our vlogs were maybe 7 minutes, 10 minutes max from each day.
Yeah.
And so we came back, we started posting those videos, and they were nothing special. I mean, we didn't know much about content creation in the beginning.
Nothing special.
But we just we grew a following from those videos. And so from that point, we continued going forward with that. We decided that we wanted to travel more because we really enjoyed that cruise so much.
Right.
And so we just continued to go from there, and our following just continued to grow. People started to like our personalities, and they like to see, us having fun. And so we continued to go from there. But a typical week in our life, or a typical day in the life, it's definitely very different between the two of us.
Right.
Okay.
So right now, Kyra is full-time content creation, and her creative IQ and all that stuff is implemented in all throughout, our content, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. She is the mastermind behind all that. And for typical week in content creation world is I will typically catalog all of our content that we film over a particular span of time if we go on a trip. So I try to catalog it by day or by event. So we try to make a point in recording. If we're at a special event, maybe it be on a day where there are 2 special events, we'll have a specific video for a specific event to get more traction or longevity out of our content to spread it out over time. So we will curate it or catalog it rather. And from there, I'll dump it into Final Cut Pro, which is what we use to edit our videos. And then from there, Kyra will go and chop it up and get it together for upload and then out to the world.
Yes, yeah.
So awesome. It's ebb and flow. So I'll do the content cataloging, and she'll do the content editing.
Dope. What's your background, Kyra? Like, what is you professionally?
Professionally, so I was a travel agent for a while.
Oh, dope. Okay.
I just kind of recently put that on pause just so I could focus more on our content creation.
I love to hear that.
But yes, yeah, which is I'm excited about that.
I love to hear that.
It's a learning curve for sure, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to do. I met up with some creators a couple weeks ago, locally, so Northern Alabama, and we're trying to do a meetup. Because it's a growing number of creators here in the North Alabama area. So for those that don't know, Aaron and Kyra and I actually live in the same city. So we're not far from one another. And I'm gonna make sure you guys' names are on that list. Because there's some really, all creators of all sizes, right? And not everybody's trying to be million subscriber type creators, but there are creators of all sizes that are here. I've actually met a few of them that were on Amazon Live and other platforms. I've met a few of them here, but trying to put together something that would allow a number of us to meet up. I think that'll be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, definitely let us know.
Yeah. Because listen, full time creator is a blessing and a curse, right? It's a feast or famine, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's the truth.
Oh my goodness. And then professionally, Aaron, we're just gonna check this box. What do you do?
I am a full-time pastor. So I'm a full-time pastor, and
because my audience knows that I'm a part-time pastor, so I just wanted you to let's just check that box and be done with it. All right, cool.
You can be a pastor and be cool too. Right.
Listen, there's nothing. Pastor and cool is synonymous in my audience, so that's
right.
They actually gave me the title Geek Speaker Preacher long before I became a pastor. So we're good here. We're good here. Listen, let's get back to our other scene here. I want to get this question. The second question is kind of the origin story. So I think you shared some of it, right, in terms of starting that vlog. I want to hear a little bit more in terms of what happened. What was the impetus that said, okay, we should keep doing this? What was the platform that you guys decided to start on? Was there anything specific that was like, this might be something? What were the results that you were seeing? Those are the kinds of things I think my audience would love to hear. People,
absolutely.
There's literally somebody out there who's probably listening, maybe not live right now, but maybe even in the replay, who's going to be like, I'm just tired. I put out 10 videos and I don't feel like putting out anymore. What kept you guys going? Like, let me just peek here real quick. I'm stalling to give you time to answer. 161 videos later, right? 161 videos later on your channel. Okay, 160. I got your numbers. No, I got your numbers. So 161. Go ahead. Sorry.
So initially, my thought process behind it was to create videos that we could have look back on, when we start a family, all that stuff.
That's good.
Once we started posting and we saw that people actually liked our personality and people could relate to our personality and the different things throughout our relationship that were super relatable to everybody else. We kind of got an influx of followers with that first series. I think the Carnival Splendor was our first series that we ever posted. And then from there, it kind of grew incrementally. But throughout that, our engagement was nice and high and consistent. But the thing that I guess the main motivator now that we are somewhat larger than we were when we first started, obviously, is that we get to inspire people that look like us to have the courage to go out and travel. So that's one of our main motivators, and that you can be Christian and have fun as well.
I love that.
Yeah, and also to know that you don't have to spend a ton of money to travel. You definitely don't. I think some people kind of have the misconception that because they see our travel content and that we travel more frequently, that they think that that we have a whole bunch of money. We definitely don't. We just know how to budget. But I think mainly in the content creation space, for the people that get kind of burnt out with posting, like how you were just saying earlier, they post 10 videos a week and they're like, man, this is a lot. I think the main thing that people need to focus on is really quality over quantity. I think that we're in a space now where people are always saying that. I hear all the time with social media and content creation, if you can post every single day, you should be posting every single day. And if you have the ability to do that, then that is great. Go for it. It's definitely not going to hurt you, but if you don't want to get burnt out and you want to make sure that what you're putting out is good and that it's going to reach the audience that you want it to reach, then you should really just sit down and decide, hey, I'm going to post this many times a week, and this is what my content is going to center around. And then once you start doing that, then hopefully your audience starts to roll in, the people that you want to engage with and the people that you want, watching your content to, start following along.
Yeah.
So
that's good. Let me tell you,
yeah.
I'm just brimming with ideas. Know this. I think there's right at the outset, Aaron, you said your why. One of your major whys was we wanted to kind of chronicle this thing. We wanted to have an archive, if you will, of videos. And I'll be honest with you, that's exactly what my family and I have done. We just didn't necessarily make those videos public, which is a mistake when we think about it, because we lived in Africa for 5 years and I know we could have lived. We could have taken advantage of that. We kick ourselves every time we think about that. But anyway, that's a whole other story for another time. We are absolutely travel addicts. So that's when I say we're fans. We're fans. Like that whole we were watching was it Play? Was that airline called Play?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. We were watching and taking notes. Like, okay, so we go. Okay, all right. So
Oh, nice.
and you get and then you get your groceries and this. Okay, all right. So you get that on the plane.
That's it.
Got you. So no. We're absolute fans. But I just think it's so interesting that you kind of outlined that right at the beginning to say we were doing it like this. In fact, I said this in the news segment a couple weeks ago. The Smithsonian is in conversation with YouTube. Why is the Smithsonian in conversation with YouTube?
Wow.
Because it's an archive, the largest of its kind on the planet. Like everything is on YouTube.
That's true.
So like the next Smithsonian installation, I'm just projecting. Now I can't say this for sure. Could be YouTube. Right? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
So that's one of the best reasons I think, to get into that space. But also, I mean, I think there's intrinsically something else that you shared, being able to show people that look like you that we can have these kinds of experiences, that we can travel this way, and it doesn't have to break the bank. One of the things that we learned in Africa, because the janitor, and I'm not saying this to play the dude, but he's the janitor, and I was saying, what you doing for holiday this year? He's like, I'm going to New Zealand. I just kind of stopped and looked at him like, what am I doing wrong with my life? And he was like, nah, we just build it in. It's so like the culture over there, what we found when we lived internationally, the culture was to save towards vacation or towards a trip. So it's just built into his every month. They just put money aside, and they have way more vacation than we do anyway here in the States. So he had the time to be able to do that, and then you get that rich experience. Anyway, all of those things, I just thought it was absolutely cool the way you guys lined that stuff off. But there's another thing that you said there as well. You said the C word. Consistency. And consistency is going to depend on whatever it looks like for you. You get to determine what consistency looks like. So don't, if you could do a video a day, probably do one every other. If you can only do a video every other day, then do once a week. If you can only do once a week, then do once every other week. I always aim for the lower bar where content is concerned. Aim for the lower bar. That's like the rule of thumb, because that's gonna set you up. That's gonna set you up. All right. I see my mods are putting your stuff in the chat. YouTube.com/AK Adventures. Make sure y'all hit this thing up. This is one of my guilty pleasures. I just be traveling around with these guys. All right. So here's my audience question that I want to throw out there to the 17 of you guys that are watching live right now. Who are your favorite creators, and do they have presence on multiple platforms? Now, some one or two of you, maybe none of you will say either Aaron and Kyra or myself, but I don't necessarily have a defined presence on any other platform except YouTube. Aaron and Kyra do, but I'm asking that question to kind of prime the pump. How are you following your favorite creators? Are they And even if they do have a presence on another platform, is it just copy paste content? Like, is the same video that I see here, same video over there? Let me know in the comments. I'm excited. I'm interested to see what your answers are. And for you guys, like, one of my favorite creators is 360 Jeezy. He's on YouTube. I especially during the pandemic, he's teaching people how to cut hair. So I was like, bet. So I learned how to cut my son's hair through the pandemic with your boy on YouTube. But then I just follow him because I just feel like his content is just, it's very engaging. It's I don't know. I'm hooked. So I don't really even care about the haircuts anymore. I'm just really kind of following along to see what's Jeezy doing next. And that's the natural progression, you know. That's the natural progression of the thing. But Jeezy has a very established presence on Instagram and on TikTok. And it's completely different content than what he puts on YouTube. I find that to be interesting. And what about you guys? Who's your favorite creators, and are they on multiple platforms?
Well, I think these are both of our favorite creators. You know what I'm about to say? That's in the travel space.
Oh, yeah.
So Kyra and Nate, that's their YouTube channel name. Kyra and Nate, they're a young married couple, and they travel the world. So they had a goal to travel to 100 countries. And they hit that goal, I think maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago at this point.
Right at the beginning of the pandemic?
Yeah, right before the pandemic. They hit that goal. And then at that point, they were like, well, what do we do now? Now that we've done this, and now they just continue to travel the world, and they just do the craziest things that you have just never heard of,
ever heard of.
Yeah. So they're definitely inspiring to us. The way that they create their content, it's such high quality content. They have good personalities, and they inspire us to, you know, get out there more and to try new things.
Not only that, but one of the things that Kyra mentioned, their content is grade A content, like premium content, and they motivate us to invest more in our presence online, how it looks, our quality. If footage is too shaky, we won't even use it. It's like that they have really impressed upon us that we have to step our game up and improve. And even more so than that, from a Black creator perspective, we want to be them in our lane.
Okay, got you. Yeah,
because you know, you honestly do not see Black creators doing what they do, and we want to inspire others that look like us, like I stated earlier, to just try the unconventional way.
I like that, man.
And I do want to say too, at the same time, even though we are more focused on stressing high quality and a good production, when we started our channel, we had our camera, we had short videos, the content, we look back on those videos and we really cringe. So I think to anyone who's maybe wanting to start out, all you need really is your iPhone. I mean, the iPhone is a great camera if you're wanting to take pictures or video. It does great with that. And you can edit on your iPhone too. We have a friend that has almost 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he films all of his videos and edits them. He does everything on his iPhone. So it's definitely possible to do that. So I don't want people to think like because we're focusing more on that now that you're like, oh, well, if I can't do all these things, then I might as well just not. You should definitely go for it anyways.
And another lane before I give it back to you, Kurt.
No, go ahead.
That just piqued my mind when she was saying that there is a lane for everybody on YouTube.
I think so.
For social media in general too.
Like whatever content, like Kurt was saying earlier, he was watching a guy that was teaching how to, cut hair. Like there's a lane for everybody on, in the social media space. So if you there's a channel, I forget the name of the channel. There was a dad pretty much teaching how to tie a tie. How to cut, hair, or how to shave, and how to do to kids that don't have father figures
Change
in their life.
oil, change tire. Yeah.
Those things are so impactful, and he has impacted so many people just doing things that a dad does.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's so simple and it's so profound at the same time. It's like content is everywhere. I just I love that. I love that concept, and I wish creators of faith would lean into that a little more, right? Because we have a perspective on fatherhood. I'm just using this as an example, right? That is different than, you know, say just any general father, right? So I just really wish we creators of faith would lean into the things that we do that others need to see and experience that isn't as preachy, right? I'm not just hitting you with the Bible. I'm actually just showing you my life. And they show you my life, right? You get a chance to see like, oh, okay. I had an atheist subscriber email me a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I have no idea how God saw fit. Yes, I'm saying God as an atheist. How God saw fit to connect you, a black content creator who lives in Alabama, and me, a white, I forgot what he said he is, but anyway, a white media professional in the UK. This really happens to be atheist, but God saw fit for our paths to cross, and my life has been better before. So it's not necessarily just about the preaching part. I love what you guys are sharing, man, and I think it comes back full circle to that whole idea of why did you get started in the first place? If it is for the likes, if it's for the views, if it's to go viral, then I'm going to tell you right now, you will be disappointed.
Yes.
Generally speaking, those people that had those viral moments were not trying. They weren't. They put it out there for some other reason. I see one of my regulars, right? Seesaw Studios. His name is Stephen Woods. He lives in Philly. He says Kirk Nugent for live production, Marquise Brownlee for tech analysis, Benny Productions for Photoshop tips, Brandon Cole for photography. I follow Brandon Cole as well. And he says almost all of them have YouTube and Instagram presence. This is good. This is good. I like this. I like this. There's a reason and there's a strategy around being able to do multiple platform content, right? We don't want it to just be the same content in a different form on a different platform. And you don't want to just have the content be a advertiser for the other contents. I know a lot of people do that in terms of repurposing. I'm trying to put more content on the other platforms that are standalone. And if people want the full thing, they can come over to YouTube and see the full thing. But that one video should be enough for you to watch it and say that was good and I walk away. A cliffhanger is not a thing, y'all. So these are some of the practices and principles we wanted to share. And of course, our second to last question is for Aaron and Kyra, as multi-platform content creators, how do you navigate both of them, right? Are the rules the same on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube? You know, what are you adhering to? Do you have different goals? Are you looking for the same demographic or perfect person, avatar? Maybe you're trying to reach somebody slightly different on the different platforms. How do you kind of break those down? And what are your platforms, number one, and then how do you break those down?
So I'll go first, and I'll let her get the bulk of it because she knows, you know, she's more in depth in it. So we have YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay.
I'll just state the differentiation between our content on YouTube and then on TikTok and Instagram, because TikTok and Instagram, the content is majority the same. But the long form content that we have on YouTube is chronicles of our trips.
Right.
For Instagram and TikTok, it's just funny moments that we have within our trip. So one of the things that you stated earlier was living, not necessarily preaching a sermon, but just living life. One of my motivating factors to do this, and Kyra concurs in different ways, is to show Christians that you can laugh and have fun and joke and have a good time. Christian doesn't mean just
we can have fun too. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that, I think that has been the major thing with our Instagram and TikTok platforms. Yeah.
Nice.
I'll definitely say that none of those three platforms are so drastically different.
Yeah.
They're drastically
I would
different.
agree with that. I would agree with
Yeah,
that.
and they are ever evolving. So for Instagram and TikTok, for example, since those are both more short form content platforms, on Instagram, like they were just monetizing reels, and now they're not anymore.
No, they're
It
not anymore.
seems like, yeah, it seems
It's
like they
crazy.
were pushing reels, but now I've heard that they are kind of pushing more carousel content, which is just a series of photos in a post.
Yeah.
But also, there are some things on TikTok that can be trending, and vice versa for Instagram too. There are things that can be trending on those platforms. And one big thing I really try to do is find trending sounds, trending
Mm,
audios, and I try
mm.
to take that and spin it for something that's relative to what we do, and create content off of those sounds to
That's a whole
get
strategy
more.
right there. That's good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a
That is a
strategy
whole
for
strategy.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah. And so something that I found that's trending on Instagram, I can't take that and repurpose it on TikTok because it's not really
Not trending.
it's not trending.
Yeah.
I can post it on TikTok and I mean it can do okay, but I think the likelihood is going to be much better on Instagram.
Mm.
So it's just something you kind of have to play with for sure. But what you said too about doing your videos and repurposing the content, that's something that we're going to start getting into, is taking clips from our long form videos on YouTube and putting just little clips on our Instagram and on our TikTok to
Mhm.
drive some more traffic
Yeah.
to other platforms.
That's good.
So
That's good.
that's
Yeah.
that's a big thing too. But I will say that we just started our Instagram last year. So we've
That's
had our
awesome.
Instagram, yeah, we've had it for 1 year, but we wish that we would have started it a long time ago.
Yeah.
So the reason that we didn't, I don't even know what our reason was, but
We had two separate at that point.
yes.
So we were
Yeah.
doing, our own Instagram, but we decided maybe we should just create one page together, and then it kind of
Yeah.
took off from there.
And it's very important to be on multiple platforms for our experience.
Mhm.
We've gotten brands that have reached out to us and they strictly want content on one platform.
Yes, they
So
do.
even though YouTube is our main platform, once we started our Instagram and we started growing, we've had people reach out and say, hey, we'd love to do a sponsorship with you strictly on Instagram, nothing
Yep.
with TikTok, nothing with YouTube. So if you don't expand, you can't
You're
reach
limiting
your,
yourself,
you're
yeah.
limiting yourself.
Yeah.
And our audience is actually very different on all three of our platforms,
Yeah.
which I was under the assumption kind of that our YouTube audience was just coming to our Instagram, but it's new faces for sure
Wow.
on all these platforms. So you kind of have to start from, you have to make sure you introduce
Yeah.
yourself. You
That's
have to
right.
make sure that your audience on each platform really knows who you are.
That's
You can't
good.
go in assuming that they know who you are and what you're about. So yeah.
She
Yeah.
said that, and I don't want to belabor the moment, but that's something that we gleaned from Kara and Nate. Because
Mhm.
at the start of all their videos, whether they have been on a trip for a week or not, they always reintroduce themselves. Like, we've been doing this for X amount of time, and we've been to this many countries. Right now, we're here.
Mhm,
Yeah.
right.
So it's super
Yeah.
important to re-engage your audience as though you have first-time listeners,
Oh yeah.
first-time
Oh yeah.
hearers.
You
Yeah.
always do.
Yeah.
You always
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's something to be, as you kind of have to identify what those channels, what those platforms are for you, and I think you guys have done that so well. I am always arguing with folks saying why YouTube should be your main platform. I've got a couple of coaching clients right now who are primarily on TikTok and Instagram, and they've just started on YouTube after much poking and prodding, and their response has just been ridiculous in terms of their
Wow.
growth. And now they're like, dang, wish I had done this earlier, but it's not, none of it is lost. One of the things I like to share, for me, my discoverability platform, right, as a whole term, is Amazon Live, actually. So brands find me on Amazon, and then they'll send me gear, or we'll do a brand deal, we'll do different things, and that may end up on YouTube or Instagram or wherever else. But my discoverability platform, right, is over on Amazon. And so for many of us, we just kind of have to identify what each platform represents in our arsenal. And especially for people like Aaron and Kyra, who, Kyra is full-time now in the content side of things. You've got to figure out where those joints are coming from, so you can fan the flame and turn that thing into a fire. So there's something to be said for, okay, we're going to tease this kind of content, we're going to put this kind of thing up. And a lot of times I like to tell people, man, you want to, even if you have content that is not sponsored, sponsor it yourself. Like the name of my business, my wife and I's business is composition. So I'll just be like, all right, boom, today's sponsor is composition. Does the audience know that that's my business? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But what that does to a brand that's watching is it says to them, oh man, that could be my name.
Yes.
Right.
Take the composition out, put your name in. And that's what you're, subliminally doing when you share with folks like, all right, man, today's series is sponsored by so-and-so, and you do a little blurb on them. You're not only telling them that we're open for business, but you're also saying, I know how to do this. You don't have to train me. Exactly. I can work your thing in a way that's natural. It's not going to be like a hard stop in the content. Like, stop, listen to this video about such and such brand. So there's just something to be said for understanding the different avenues and lanes. YouTube is definitely home base for me, and I'm glad to hear that that's home base for you guys. But I'm also, man, I just love the growth. I'm looking at your Instagram page. That is significant. 22.4K. That's nothing small, y'all. Listen, we got folk out here been at it for years, and they are still under 5,000. So yeah, no, kudos to you guys for making it happen, recognizing that was something you could do, and just really getting out there and doing it. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. All right, where are we at here? 7:43. I got one more question for you guys. We've done real well tonight. What process did you go through to find your lane as content creators? So I mean, at a certain point, you're going to transition, or you talked about wanting to kind of archive your trips, your, all the things that you do, and have that somewhere where you can refer back to. And I'm gonna tell you, video is the best way to archive, right? You just go back. We're looking at video of my son entertaining our daughter when they were both like 0 and 1, right? So it was absolutely hilarious, and we had that video. It's on YouTube. We can go and watch it anytime we want. So that's a great idea, but at some point you will transition, and I would say you have transitioned into being a content creator. So now in the whole content creator space, you do have to have a lane. And what process did you guys go through in order to identify, like, this is our lane, this is our space, these are the people that resonate most with our content, this is where we want to kind of hang our hats? Talk to us a little bit about how you arrived where you are now.
So, and I'll go first, and then I'll let her, because she got more to say than I do on this, because she's a full time. I would say one of the main factors in us deciding what our lane would be is our engagement and our feedback from what we posted.
That's good.
It's it's imperative that you follow your. I mean, of course, you can post whatever you want to,
right?
But if you want to grow, if you want to get more eyes on your content, you have to read those comments saying, "Come on, this motivated me to do this." I would have never thought that this was a possibility. Or it's good seeing people like me doing stuff like this.
Come on.
So that's a lot of that impressed us a lot as far as where our lane would be, how we would cater to our folks, our people, because our audience is made up of people that will want to live vicariously through us.
Yeah, that's real.
That would never take a cruise. Those that are planning to do a family trip, or those that are wanting some pointers on how to save in budget travel.
Mhm.
So we've kind of have a good mix,
That's
a
good,
melting
man.
pot rather.
Yeah, no, you've understood it.
that
That's
goes
great.
forward. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely, that's definitely good. I just think really the main thing is that it needs to be, for one, I think the most important thing, honestly, it needs to be something that you personally, as the content creator, enjoy doing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because
There it
if
is.
it's not something that you
Yes.
enjoy doing, I mean, it's just not going to be good for you. You're not going to be able to sustain it long term.
That's
So
it.
I think for us, when we did our vlogs, when we first started out, we realized, hey, this was actually a lot of fun. Like recording this, being able to have the memories. And once we put it out and we got that good feedback, we were like, let's try to keep it going. Let's keep it going. And it just really naturally fell into place for us.
Mhm.
And
Nice.
so also at this point, we do travel content, but we are also slowly trying to inch our way into the lifestyle space as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and that's something that we'll have to put it out there and see how, our audience reacts to it, how they're liking it. So we created a separate channel
I saw
from
that.
our current channel
Yeah.
because we do recognize that there's
so
going to be
dope.
people that
Right.
are just not interested in the lifestyle
Lifestyle. That's
content,
true.
and that's completely fine. But you have to make sure you separate it so that you have your audience, your right audience, where they need to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, do what you love and put it out there, see what kind of feedback you get. And if you're enjoying it, if other people are enjoying it, then keep going it. Do what you
Yeah.
love, and it'll all fall into place. It really will.
Man, that's so good. I absolutely love what I'm hearing in terms of just all of the different pieces. Aaron really hit the nail on the head when he talked about making sure you have that feedback loop. In fact, earlier today I was live on Amazon doing my regular show, and I did a quick teaching session. I do that in my shows, and the 5 points. The fifth point was create a feedback loop. So when he said that, I was like, look at this. This is so awesome. That is, and your comment section is such gold. It's content gold for any
Yes.
creator that has not developed a rhythm, has not developed a practice, a habit of going through your comments meticulous. I do not farm that out. I have 2 VAs. I have video editors. I have graphic designers. None of them go to the comments. I do that myself because that's where I find my next ideas. That's where I
Yes.
figure out, like, oh, I should have added that to this video. Note to self, when I redo this video, because I'm going to redo the video, I'm going to add that piece in, and it'll probably do better than this one did because I have
100%.
user feedback baked in. It's like almost a major cheat code. Like,
Yeah.
It
we wanna make
is.
sure-
It's valuable
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
valuable.
And let me be clear. I want to say this to somebody out there who's saying, but I don't have many comments. I go to other people's comments. Oh man, I'm giving away too much stuff right now. I go to other people's comments. My favorite
Yeah.
creators that are in my space, like my good friend Melanie Diane Howe, who's in the comments right now. She's just said, I couldn't agree with you more, Kyra. She's also a dope creator in the live video strategy space. She's one of the brand ambassadors for StreamYard, so really good friend of mine. But I was in her comments before I even knew her, looking at what people were responding back to her about her StreamYard videos, and I was like, oh, I could do that video. Okay,
Wow.
I could do that. I could make that. I could do it that way. I know for a fact that some of the competing platforms like Restream and StreamYard and BeLive, they're in one another's comments as well. So the next feature release comes from what they found out from others. And so we're not doing anything. Gary Jones put the mic drop on there. But we're what I'm saying to everybody is you've got to figure out what that looks like. I said, I was speaking at a conference a couple weeks ago, and one of the gentlemen said something about YouTube, and I asked him, how much YouTube do you consume? Who's your favorite YouTube creators? And he couldn't answer. And I said, that's majority of your issues right there. By beholding, we become changed. You want to be successful on YouTube.
Yeah.
And you're not watching any YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't even have a picture of what success looks like.
Yeah.
That is
And
true.
you can't even rub up on a little bit of success, or you can't even trip over some success.
Yeah,
You haven't
come
put
on,
yourself
man.
in the position to be successful, right? The old adage that says success leaves clues. You got to see those clues, right? So at the end of the day, I love the way that you guys framed that answer. One thing I want to ask you, Melanie's responding. She says, "Same, Kirk and I were totally vibing before we even knew it." That's the truth. I mean, that's the
Wow.
we we both made almost a very similar video to one another, and they both blew up at the same time. I did not know her. She did not know me. We both got picked up by StreamYard. It's a whole thing. But
That's cool.
I wanted to ask you this question because both Melanie and I are coaches. Just going to pause there for effect. So I want to ask you this question because both Melanie and I are coaches. I'm pausing. You know, they say, you know, repetition deepens the impression. And there's something about the number 3. I want to ask you this question because both Melanie and I are coaches. So I know for a fact, like as I you know, look at my notepad of notes from your play video talking about budget airlines, I know for a fact there's a need for people to be coached on how to do budget travel, for people to be coached on, you know, setting up these types of experiential things. This I want to be clear on this part. This is the number one thing that people are willing to pay for is experiences. So have you guys given any thought to coaching? I mean, you said you were a travel agent. I was like, this is an easy segue.
I will definitely say that we want to eventually get into creating videos where we really break down fully how we plan how I plan it all out, how we save for it, what we do. We get those questions so much. We definitely want to eventually get to that. It just takes a lot. It takes a lot of preparation to do it. And then it takes a lot of preparation to put that type of video together because I want it to be really well done because that can make a big difference for, you know, people that are wanting to do that. So I wanted to go about it the right way for sure.
No, I just wanted to listen. There's no right or wrong to that one. I just wanted to drop that one in your ear because I see that, and especially as you kind of diversify some of your income streams. You know, the modern day millionaire formula is basically just got to have. You just keep on adding income streams. Just keep on adding incomes. So, and listen, I love getting that Stripe email every Tuesday. I get that Stripe email that says, this is what's going to be deposited in your bank account. I'm like, well, thank you, God. I was sleeping last night and somebody put money in there. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Listen, we can do a whole dance on that one, but no. Melanie is actually saying it in the comments right now. She says, travel frameworks, sign me up. Sign me up too. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it. Listen, this is what you walk away with this one for free.
You're throwing the nugget. We're catching it. We're catching it. It's
travel frameworks. I love it. I love it. I mean, as I mentioned before, my family and I absolutely love to travel. We're getting a chance to go back to Africa this summer, so we're excited about that. And then listen, I have the gimbal ready. I will be. I'm capturing. I feel like we missed such a golden opportunity when we lived there. So I'm just like kicking myself. But anyway, we gonna vlog our way through some stuff. But man, listen, Aaron and Kyra, our time is already coming to a close. I want to give you guys some just a second to tell people what they can expect next. How can they support? How can they follow? Anything that we can do to plug what you guys are doing and shine a floodlight on that. This is the time. Want to kind of give you that space.
Well, I would definitely just say if you enjoy travel content, if you enjoy watching, you know, a young couple travel and have fun and do things on a budget. We also make a lot of Disney content. We're big Disney fans. Our next series on our channel is going to be our Paris series. We went to Paris in February for Aaron's birthday.
Nice.
So we're going to be sharing that experience. And then we've got a California adventure coming up on our channel after that we went. It was our first brand trip that we've ever done. And so if anyone wants to see that, definitely check it out. But definitely lots of more travel content from us. And all of our names are the same on Instagram and TikTok. It's AK Adventures 15. And then on YouTube, it's just AK Adventures. So come hang out with us. It's a lot of fun.
Love it.
Please do.
Love it. Man, this is awesome. I love when we can engage and just have a really cool conversation. We're going. Melanie is hilarious. I just love her comments. We're gonna vlog our way through. Oh my goodness. Okay. Christian says I'm giving you a sub. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Christian. I'm telling you.
Thank you so much for the support.
Nice.
Yeah, man. You will not regret that. Trust me. I have really enjoyed living vicariously. There's that Mediterranean cruise is on my bucket list. I've got to get that cruise. That's like,
It was amazing.
No.
It was a trip of a lifetime. Really, it was.
No, we have. I kid you not. That's been on our list from. Let me tell you how much we love travel. This is not even in the notes. We're completely off book now. But for our wedding, for our wedding gifts, our registry was a trip. All right, so our registry was our honeymoon.
Oh my gosh, that's
so people
funny.
could pay, like, you had units. We broke down the flight into units, and once that was complete, you could go to the different excursions. And this is what I got married before internet. No, I'm just joking. I got married. We got married in 2006, so this was way back. Like the website was really old and clunky, but it worked, and it allowed us to take our honeymoon in Tahiti, Moorea, and Bora Bora, the French Polynesian islands. So that was absolutely trip of a lifetime for us.
Incredible. Wow.
Yeah, it's so interesting that you say that, because for us, more than presents and tangible things, our stuff is trips. For her birthday, trips. For my birthday, trips. For my anniversary, trips. For Christmas,
we want to go somewhere. Yeah.
Yes.
I love you. And listen, for Valentine's Day, I'll get you a bear.
Bang.
But let's go on a trip, okay?
Yeah. We had both graduated a couple of years, prior. So we weren't coming fresh out of college. We both had apartments, so we were trying to consolidate. So we didn't need pots, pans, spoons, towels. We didn't need none of that. We wanted a trip. Like, buy me the catamaran sunset cruise around Tahiti. That's what you could buy me. And I'm telling you, that thing, that was the experience of a lifetime. That's why we gotta hang out. We gotta hang out. We got stories for days on this thing.
Yes, we want to hear it for sure.
Absolutely, man. Guys, thank you so much. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna close things out here, and then we can chat a little bit offline. But thank you guys so much for coming, sharing some of your story, your experiences. I'm certain that it's beneficial. I see Melanie saying she is going to go back to the beginning. She came in a little late. She's going to go back and catch the rest of the replay. Thank you so much for that, Melanie. It's such a compliment when other creators follow your content. That's absolutely amazing. And that's why I love this space. But yeah, hang out real quick. I'm going to close things out. Man, How It All Works, fam. Listen, it has been another one in the books where we get a chance to chat with these dynamic, powerful creators. And I love that it's a duo, right? I don't usually get to have the duos on. Usually I'm interviewing just one person, but we got a chance to really hear the perspective from both sides, from somebody who's full-time in it, another person who's not full-time in it, but it's a household, right? They're doing it together. And I absolutely love that. A lot of times people don't see how much and how involved my wife is in the content, but she really is. And we're hoping with this new series that we've got coming out in the month of May, called The Incubator's Couch, right? Go back and check last week's episode if you don't know what I mean when I say incubator, but The Incubator's Couch. That series is going to be joint. Like, both two of us are going to be doing that series together. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. I always love working with her, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Fam, as you know what we do here, it's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Hoping it's somewhere in the video today you got a chance to have that light bulb aha moment. You got a chance to have those puzzle pieces fit together, and you were able to peek behind the veil. Essentially what we're saying is we're hoping you were able to figure out how it all works. And we'll see you, family, in the next video. Later. All right, fam. Replay Squad, you know what it is. Pick one of these videos over here. Go ahead and watch that. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Later.